Hey guys, my name is Sara Banerjee, and catch me at a new time on my new show. And for those of you who don't know, this is my assistant, PR person, and who's on my next episode? Chuck. Catch Chuck on our next episode of the Sara Banerjee Show. Pretty cool here. And tell me a little bit about you besides being a Virgo, which was in your bio. What's your deal? What do? You look fabulous, by the way.
I am a lawyer, a father, a tennis player, a soccer player, and a soccer coach, and a guy that walks the dog every morning and every night. That's pretty much my life.
Okay, so what kind of law? How many kids? Which kids soccer, and what kind of dog?
I am a consumer lawyer, and what we do is we basically help car buyers who get cheated by car dealers to get their money back. And then we do some lemon law, which is basically when people buy a defective car, we can help them get their money back. And to do bankruptcy, so when people get in over their head with debt, or if they're sick, if they're laid off, if they have some hardship, then we can basically help them with their finances, get the clean slate and fresh start. So that's what I've been doing for about 20 years professionally. I have two daughters. One's 20, one's 21. They're in college now.
Oh gosh. Wow. Congratulations.
And in fact, one graduates this year, which is pretty crazy. So
from where?
From University of California in San Diego. UCS.
Okay. I went to UCLA. I thought you were going to say USC, and I was going to have a heart attack and be like, no, that's not happening. Unless, wait, did you go to USC Law? I'm so sorry if you did.
I am an East Coast transplant.
Oh, great. Great.
So the girls are good. It's me and my dog, Buddy. We live in Eagle Rock, right outside of downtown near Dodger Stadium. And it sounds like you know the area pretty well.
I did my undergraduate at UCLA, and I studied theater and I studied psych. And then I went to grad school and got my MFA from NYFA. And then I went to grad school and was getting my doctorate in physical therapy. And here I am chatting with you now.
That is very cool. And you're a Guns N' Roses fan.
Yes, I am a Guns N' Roses fan. I'm also a Target $12.99 t-shirt fan. So, hey.
Best of both worlds, right?
Best of both worlds. So I want to run down a line of questioning with you, and I want to see what your answers are. And then at the end, I want everyone to know how they can get a hold of you in case they have a defective car or need to file bankruptcy. Hopefully not, but pandemic issues, man. So second one, when you were 10 years old, did you know that you wanted to be an attorney? No. And if not, you did?
And when I was 10 years old, I wanted to be a fireman.
What happened?
I was dead set on being a fireman.
And then, I mean, you put out people's financial fires and car, lemon law fires.
In a way, we fight fires. So what happened was my mother, God bless her, came here from Colombia, and she had this mindset that you can either be a doctor or a lawyer. So pick one. Either one's fine.
Did you say Colombian or Indian, Chuck? Because the story sounds very familiar.
Same idea, different concept, same mindset. So yeah, my father, son of first generation immigrant Italian family, so very similar, professional. My father was a judge. They're both since passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can say with complete candor and honesty, I was never cut out to be a doctor. I mean, for any reason. So for me, the easy answer was, okay, I'll just be a lawyer, because if my dad could do it, then I could do it. Like that would be the
DNA.
Yeah. So, and he was a smart guy, but I figured, well, it can't be that hard, So
has it turned out to be that hard?
Oh yeah, it's a really tough way to make a living. I do not recommend it. Unless really, really, really want to, run into burning buildings. So my sister, my brother, all three of us are all lawyers.
Amazing.
That's how that all turned out. And frankly, all kidding aside, when my mom would come home at the end of the day, she was a nurse and she sometimes worked two jobs, and she was this kind of a serial student. She kept getting degrees, but in spite of her education and her work ethic, she would find herself getting kind of the short end of the stick over and over again. Like, there were just a lot of quiet moments where she was being taken advantage of by, employers, by just people on the street, like in transactions, people kind of trying to rip her off, like buying cars, for example. She had a history of buying terrible cars. And my dad was, he was there. It's not like she was a single mom, raising three kids, but he was working all the time. And frankly, she handled all this stuff inside the house. So like anything that went wrong, she would just kind of get quiet, and it was like, oh, well, what can you do? And I was like, you shouldn't really, that's not a good answer. I think it came from that. I just felt like, point I wanted to try to help people that, kind of get run over. Straight out of college, went to Africa, did that, thought I was going to be a teacher. And so I think being a public servant or some kind of service is in our blood. My sister was a prosecutor, ADA, and my brother came out of the public defender's office. So I think we all have that kind of mindset.
That like altruistic mindset. Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of your family and your mom and like your sister and your brother, how would you say your family would describe you when you were growing up? And how would you say your siblings would describe you now? Different.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I think I was more, I was a kid in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
More of a free spirit. I did my first century. It's a 100-mile bike ride.
Yes.
When I was 14 with my best friend, and we just rode the woods in Colorado for 4 days. Like, who would do that now? And that's before cell phones. Like, right. I mean, it's like negligent, like what?
Negligent. But definitely an attorney.
Like, okay. Like, did you have parents, and where were they? And, the answer is like, we just basically did our own thing. And I had my first job when I was 12. After 3 years of being a paper boy, I got hired on at a restaurant to bus tables because I lied and I told them I was 16.
They didn't ask for a permit?
They're like, we don't care. Just start working. Here's your apron. Go.
Wait, where was it? Was it in LA? No, you're from the East Coast. Where?
Well, I was born in Baltimore, but we really grew up. Most of my life was Colorado.
Okay. So you were bussing tables in Colorado. Then I'm trying to get the timeline right here.
Yeah. Like junior high and high school was Colorado, Denver. So yeah.
I'm going to Denver in December, and then I'm going to go to Vail to ski for a couple of days. I'm excited.
You are lucky.
I know. I'm very hyped. Just watch my Instagram to watch me fall off the ski lift, because that is about to happen.
Don't do that.
I'm not. No. But so you were always a very hardworking kid, is what I'm hearing, and you feel like you're like that now. There's not really a difference, or do you feel?
Well, I think the difference is, then I was much more, I think, free spirited. My plan was to live in every continent for 2 years, and I checked off 4 of them, and then I stopped. Okay. So I think what happened was I got to LA right around the year 2000.
Okay.
And met someone. 2 kids came along and started a law firm, and just kind of in a way decided this was home. It's a good home base. Pretty happy here. A lot of opportunities, and so I never looked back.
Okay, well, I feel like you're very special and unique and have an amazing story, but I want to hear from your perspective. I'm serious, and I can see a lot of parallels where it's just so relatable to a lot of people out there. But I want your perspective as to why you feel like you're special and unique. Yes, this is the lovey, fuzzy, wuzzy, love yourself part. and we're almost wrapped because it's the most uncomfortable. So we leave it for last.
All right. So what my friends might say, right?
No. What do you say about
All right,
yourself? What makes you feel like you're special?
you want to really get into passion, right? Like, what do I love? I went through Second City. It was the best 2 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
By far, hands down, 2008, 2010, the most fun you can have with your clothes on. So, so it was awesome. So being around smart and funny people like you,
Oh,
um, and I think really, like, I used to be in a band way back when in the 90s. Love playing music, love being around music, love, all of it. Love so much, of the different genres, and just there's just so much great talent out there. And then, I joined a clinic, which is a group of people that play tennis a couple times, and it's a blast. I'm having a great time. So just getting out there, like hiking, tennis, running, not so much anymore, but, just getting out there.
Okay, so I'm going to sum up to you what makes you special and unique, and then we are going to wrap it. I think it's you're a secret artist stuck in a lawyer's body. I'm just saying that's basically what you told me. Like, I did Second City and I play the guitar. Well, I assumed you played the guitar. You're in a band. Sorry. But I do want to thank you, my little secret artist lawyer friend, Chuck, for coming and hanging out with us today.